Hello folks, I'm JDporkchop and this is Let's Play Kerbal Space Program 1.1, Episode 2. This episode I'm hoping to make it into orbit, make a lot more science and see what other things we can get up to. Hopefully not as many crashes this time, but it is Kerbal. Anyway, I've just finished building a rocket, so let's go have a look at that. A quick note I want to say just before we do is that the sound in the last episode was maybe not quite right. It's since been tweaked. I think it's a bit better, as you maybe couldn't always clearly hear what I was saying, and the background noise was maybe a little loud. But anyway, let's go and have a look at the rocket and get started on our next step into the stars. There you go, guys. I present you Orbiter. At the bottom, it was originally going to be 5 boosters, like 4 around the central one, but it said I had too much mass, so I had to cut them off. Also, yeah, so with just the 1 booster, I don't know if it's going to get off the ground, but we'll see. So I think the next kind of task that we should aim to get done is making the launch pad better and making the VAV better, so I can build bigger rockets. Because we all know bigger rockets are better rockets. So, throttle up to max, SAS on, F5. Yeah, that's a tip, by the way. With this game, press F5 as often as possible, because it will quick save, and then you can go back and try again if something goes disastrously wrong, which it will. Also, if you hit escape, you can revert flight, so that you can basically like restart. But you don't really want to be reverting to launch if you're going all the way to Joule and you're just about to land or just about to go into orbit and you miscalculate it and go slamming into the surface. So F5. F5 is your friend in this game. Right, so launching time. It sort of just inched off the ground a little bit there. At least it actually launched. It's like the most undramatic launch of all time, but we're on the way up. Whoa, just blinding myself. And this game definitely looks better, doesn't it? Or is it just me? I mean, I haven't played it quite a while. Right, so that's the first booster done. Now we're on to the liquid fuel. Swaying slightly to the left. Wow, she doesn't like to turn at all. If you look down in the bottom left hand corner, you can see what my controls are doing. And like even fully trying to there we go, it's starting to move a little bit. Yeah. As we get higher up, it'll become easier to control. Like, because at the moment the air resistance is stopping you from being able to turn the rocket at all. That's the main booster done. Onto the central booster, and we just have that tiny little tank left. So there we go, she's turning a bit better now. Sort of. It still doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Alright, we're gonna just do as you're told. Okay. I'm gonna just at like 1/3 throttle, start trying to get into more of a kind of orbit than we are at the moment, because we're almost about to break into space. Oh dear. And we're out of fuel. Well, wait until we get up to the apoapse, I guess, and just try and do something. Oh, these buttons over here do. No idea. Well, that's us in space. As we get closer to the apoapsis, you'll use less fuel to make any kind of maneuvers. Whenever you make a maneuver, you should always do it as close to the apoapsis or periapsis as possible for fuel efficiency. I warn you now, a lot of the stuff that I'm saying, I think is right. I'm not 100% sure. Anyone who's watching this video, if you really want to learn how to play Kerbal and not just watch some idiot mess it up, go watch Scott Manley's videos, because he's the guy. He's the man who knows what he's doing. He's also an EVE Online player, which makes him, although he's a goon, so meh, but it makes him a good man in my book. So we're almost at the apoapsis, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit, just get us to the last little bit. And let's try this again. Ready, and go. I don't think we're going to have enough fuel, but we will see. And we also need enough fuel to... yeah, that's us out of fuel. So, I think we'll put that as a failure. And I'll have to come up with something else. But while we're here, we might as well gather a bit of science. What little bit we can get, as always. And I will cut back. Oh no, hold on. Before we do that, we've got this thing, haven't we? I might take this out actually, because this is really heavy. So 25 science. Wow. So I mean, if we can land this, we can unlock more stuff, and then maybe get into orbit. So this might not be a complete failure after all. And obviously, I've still got a crew report. Up here it's useless, but maybe when I've just dipped back into the atmosphere, I can get a crew report. That gets maybe another 5 science. So we're going to be over 30 science. It should be able to unlock us maybe some slightly bigger rockets or something. So we'll come back in a second, and once I've landed, and we'll get a new plan. Alright guys, we are burning back into the atmosphere. Things are getting hot. And I have fitted some nice new drone chutes. Because obviously this is quite heavy. If we fire off these... well, they didn't really work. But they're supposed to like slow you down before you fire your main... oh dear. Yeah, that didn't really work very well. So... did I save it? I bet I didn't. There was me saying about doing... well, I'll just do it again. Okay. Once I've done this again and landed it, I'll join back up with you. Okay, guys? There we go, guys. Successful the second time round. We've got the 25 science, which should hopefully unlock us some more stuff, and we can get into orbit. Alright, time to build a new rocket. 41 science in total. So we'll jump into the R&D, have a look what we can get. Right, that doesn't really help us any. What's this one? Basic science, battery, thermometer. So once again, that doesn't really help us much. Flight control, the reaction wheel could be handy. How much is that though? 45. So we don't even have enough for that anyway. Do we have enough for any of these? 45, 45. See, that one could be good. Get a bigger fuel tank. 4 science, well, 3.5 science. I bet I could get that from just wandering around. So, is that what I really want to do though? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Right, I'm going to go and like literally wander around outside and collect the 3 bits of science, 3.5 bits of science I need. That gives us some extra rockets. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll go to the vehicle assembly building. Okay, guys. 75,000 to upgrade the launch pad, and that ups our weightage to 140 ton. So I think that's worth it. I know it's quite early game and I don't have a massive amount of money. I can't afford to upgrade the vehicle assembly. It's 225. Though it's only 25,000, 10,000, 12,000. Wow. Yeah, just me showing off how good I am at maths. But obviously, if you spend all your money, then you don't have enough money to make rockets. So you kind of need to make like another 50,000. And yeah. So I think we're gonna upgrade this, and that means we have more weight to go with. And then we're just gonna keep sticking more rockets on it. Because at the moment, we can add 12 more parts, but the weight was what was kind of really stopping us. So we're going to take this off, and we're going to add, what we're going to add, fuel tanks. We're going to add another midsection with this one. And then that. So we're still under our size limit, parts limit, and we're still good on height. I think the next thing is to be really stupid and stick some really big boosters on it, because, you know, reasons. Oh, what about if we just stick one big booster on the bottom like that? Oh, no, you need to put a decouple on first. Oh no, is that going to screw the height? No, no, we're still good. We're still good for height. So, decoupler. We will call her Loop 2. Save. Oh, and I need to put some pins on it. And I've probably forgotten something else, but that'll do for now. Put some pins on it here. Put some pins on it up here. And oh, let's put it over the part count. Oh well, you only get one set of pins. That's right. Save. Launch. Oh look, it's all cool and different, and there's fuel tanks and things to break. Because if you crash into this, you damage it, and then you have to fix it, and that costs money, which sucks. So, boosters on, everything on, SAS, and away! Ah. Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, I have a plan. I have a plan. Quick. Well, it's kind of a waste of fuel now, so yeah. What happens if you turn it? Think it'll fall over? It's maybe not a good idea. Right, I think we'll go back to the drawing board. So, that's useless. Doing there. Why is it being really buggy? It's not happy. There we go. Right. Probably not happy because I keep building sucky rockets. NASA is never giving me a job, which really makes me sad. Oh well. Should we stick? No, if the big one isn't going to move it, that one isn't going to move it. I suppose we could just go with this and see if this will make it. I'm not holding my breath, but we can see. So, launch. Quick save. Remember, F5, F5, F5. That. Oh, what have I done? Oh dear. Try again. Right, so that shouldn't be there. That should be there. Check your staging, people. Check your staging, because accidents can happen. Right, boosters on, SAS on, and launch. Well, it took off. It's always a bonus. Right. So around 10,000 meters, we're going to do our gravity turn. Hopefully, maybe. And then we can see if this thing will actually go into orbit. So once I've kind of made it a little bit higher up, we'll cut back in. Okay guys, we are, how high are we? We're at 70,000. We still have a fair amount of fuel left. We've got this stage, and this one's pretty much full. So as we get closer to the apoapsis, we're going to do our main burn to get us into orbit, and I'm reasonably hopeful this time around. We're going to F5 because it's going to blow up soon, and it'll be good to be able to go back to a safe point where it's not blown up. I'm very negative with this. I'm pretty much negative with all my games. It's years and years of failing. Doing it in fun and creative ways. Alright, apoapsis, almost. Used to be able to tell you the time. I think you need to like level up your pilots before you can start doing like maneuvering nodes and stuff. I'm not entirely sure. I always used to play it in sandbox, so this is kind of new to me. But we're getting there. Right, when the yellow circle gets to the big white line in the middle, we're going to do our burn. Or when it's like sort of touching it. We're going to do our burn. And 3, 2, 1. Let's get a map view. It's sort of getting bigger. It's almost. What you need to see is the little triangle coming out the other side. When you see that, that's when you know you've sort of kind of been successful. Though we're quite a bit past the apoapsis now, which makes me. There's the thing ran out. So we need to go with this one. And I need to be careful of fuel, because we need to keep a little bit to burn. If we do get into orbit, and you've burnt all your fuel out, then how are you going to deorbit yourself? And it's things like that that make you hate this game. Oh, look at that! Look at that! I think we can call that an orbit. 75,000 on the periapsis, which is the lowest point. So that will do. There you go, mission complete. 10 science. And we've got some reputation as well, and we've got some new world records. Let's have a look at these. Can you enlarge this at all? No. Whoops. So we have entered orbit. There you go. 2 science. And distance record. All sorts of fun things. So now to pick a, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to orbit round once. I'll tell you something else I'm used to doing is having mods in that make you use up food and electrical charge and water and stuff like that. And I keep looking to make sure that I'm not running out of food and water. But that might be for another series. We can do like a modded one. It depends. Depends how rubbish this looks when I actually edit it all together. Right, we're going to try and land here-ish. So we want to go and retrograde, which if you see the one with a little X to it, that's retro. So that means you're firing backwards, you know what I mean? So that's forwards, that's backwards. And that's going that way kind of moves your orbit like round. Like I'll have to show that because I can't explain it. I'm definitely not a sciencey person. I'm just a computer game player. Not a particularly good one at that. Alright, so much positive thinking. Right, we are doing re-entry burn thing, and we kind of want to land in the water because, well, water is softer than land. So if you screw it up, it's maybe a chance you won't die instead of a definite chance of dying. Right, so we're now re-entering, and I'll probably cut it out here as usual because you know what re-entry looks like. It's me screaming, going, we're gonna die. So I'll go do the screaming on my own, and we'll be back in a second. Folks, I think it's time to wrap this one up. We've made it into orbit. We've unlocked some science, and next we might just make it to that tiny little dot over there, which I think is the moon, but I'm not 100% sure. I hope it's the moon. So yeah, that'll be the plan for the next episode. We'll be making it to the moon without crashing too many times. I've really enjoyed making this episode, so I hope this series is going to run all the way to maybe ELO. But we'll see. That's maybe a little ambitious. But hey, you've got to have a plan, right? So thank you very much for watching. I've been JDporkchop, and this has been Kerbal Space Program 1.1.